Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is my No Spend September week 3 update, so don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So I hope you've all had another lovely week. She's been a really normal week for us here and fairly busy actually, and so to be fair, not quite so normal. My youngest was poorly at the beginning of the week, so it kind of, yeah, he's all better now, touch wood. So yeah, so it's just been another week where we've kind of been backwards and forwards and doing all the normal things. But it's been another good week for my No Spend September. So if you are new here, this is my budget planner. This is what I use all the time to document my spending from day to day. Yeah, I just find it really easy, and yeah, and I'll leave a link below to my Etsy shop where you can get these if you want to join me in this. So this is what it looks like. Obviously I've shared all of these. So the first thing to talk about is my No Spend Day tracker, and I am so pleased with how that is looking. I am so in the zone of kind of just keeping on track and not spending, and I'm just really happy. So I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 no spend days including today. So I feel like first of all that 23 is going to be fairly doable, considering there's still 9 days left of the month. But also I just feel like I've got, compared to July and August, I just feel like I've got a proper grip on my spending and my finances again. And I do, as soon as I don't track stuff, it all just goes out the window. And so tracking every single day, pen and paper wise, is the only system that I find really works for me. And hopefully, as you can see, like, it is working. So yeah, so that's what my No Spend Day tracker is looking like. I really like that. I'm really happy with that. I might even get 25, you know, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm really happy with how that looks so far, and we'll just continue in the same for this next week, I am hoping. So at the end of last week, this is what the numbers were looking like. So again, all really positive. The only one that's, I guess it looks really small, is the cat one, but I don't think he needs anything else now. This was at the end of week 2, which was last week. So my aim for this week was 6 no spend days again, and it's really similar, to be fair, to week 2. So Wednesday I spent money on petrol, that was £44.40, and yes, it's a no spend day. Again, I've explained that multiple times as to why I still count that as a no spend day, so it is what it is. Friday, my youngest had football, so that's £5 for him to do that. Again, it counts as a no spend day because it's their activity. They do it they both have different things every single week, and it doesn't count into this. And then Saturday, so yesterday, I did spend some more. So food shop at Sainsbury's came to £28.39. I am going to try and make some homemade soup with the tomatoes that I've grown today, so hopefully that will be, first of all, hopefully that it works, and then second of all, that will be lunch today and tea on Tuesday. So it kind of, I didn't need a lot of stuff, and I have still got quite a bit in the freezer to use, but yeah, I'm happy with that. We also went to Lidl for things, packed lunch things mainly, I think, for Lidl. I think I've said this before, but the smoothie cartons are cheaper in Lidl, the crisps that they like are cheaper in Lidl, and because I had my children, they also got things from the bakery because they really like that, and it's a bit of a treat. It's a treat and it's not that expensive. So yeah, so we spent £9.71 in Lidl, and then we did pop to B&M and I bought a couple of things for them as well, and that cost me £5.25. So again, kind of the numbers there are really, really good. And no, it wasn't a no spend day. I didn't actually plan to spend anything in B&M, but I don't know about anybody else, but once you go in there, the chances of you coming out with nothing, or for me anyway, is really slim because there's just so much stuff and it's all such good value. I did spend quite a long time looking at the Christmas stuff and kind of mulling ideas about that, because of course that's all out as well. So I was kind of this wasn't anything to do with Christmas, but I was looking through there and stuff, and I can spend a lot of time in B&M. It's one of my favourite shops. That being said, I do need to be mindful of the fact that sometimes when you go in there, actually you don't need any of the stuff that you end up buying. So it is one of those things. But yeah, so we went to B&M. My kids also love going in there, and I had to look around, and I ended up spending £5.25. So by the end of week 3, this is what this is looking at. So food in total, that Sainsbury's and Lidl combined came out at £38.10. So I have £58.04 remaining for that. Considering there's only 1 week and a bit left of September, I'm happy with that. In fact, I might even do some extra shopping in terms of I might buy some stuff and try and do some batch cooking next weekend maybe. With the remainder, that would be a good use of that. Petrol, again, that's looking really positive. Obviously I'll need some more petrol at this point during the week at some point as well, because I always do. But I spent £44.40 there and have £112.26 remaining. Unless I suddenly do a ridiculous amount of driving in 1 week, I will be under budget for the petrol budget, which is lovely considering I did spend a lot of petrol, or a lot on petrol in August, because we just went so many places, so it's nice to then get that underneath again. Children wise, so £10.25 for them this week, and therefore their budget has £74.75 remaining. And again, I won't spend that much money in 1 more week for them. However, I might look ahead and kind of go, well, what could that be used for? Maybe looking at Christmas things, maybe looking at kind of, you know, looking at clothes in the next size or whatever. I'll just be mindful of that, seeing as there will be some left over. No spend days, I had 6 no spend days, and look, extra income, woohoo. Now I know it's only £1.50 and that does not get me anything at all. However, I have sold one thing on Vinted. Only one thing. It's a t-shirt, a kid's t-shirt, £1.50. But it's £1.50 that I didn't have before, and I have finally started that process. So if you've watched me, you'll know for months I've gone, I know I need to do Vinted, I'll get around to it, whatever. I actually have now, and something has sold already, so I'm really happy with that. Yes, most people are going, why are you so happy over £1.50? But it's almost, it's not the value, it's the point that it started and something else. And hopefully now that I've got over the mindset, and because it was a mindset hurdle of going on that and doing that as someone who is not great at technology, now that I've got over that hurdle of uploading something and it's selling, and like I was worried about shipping labels and all sorts, but touch wood, it was all really straightforward. Now it hasn't cleared yet. I think the buyer has to do something their end, I don't really know, but yeah, so that was really straightforward. So for overall thoughts on the week, I've put another good week. Hopefully some more things on Vinted will sell, because I have put some more things on there, and I guess it takes time, doesn't it, for people to find them and stuff. And I've got a lot more things to list now that I realise, or I don't know why I didn't realise before, but now that I know how to do it and what the process is and how the shipping labels work and all of that kind of stuff, I am more confident in that I can list more things on there. Someone asked last week if I could share my Vinted store or whatever. If someone can tell me how I do that, I am more than happy to share that, but I don't know how I do that. I use the app, and as far as I know I can't see how I share that, but if you let me know I will do so. The majority of things that will be on there are children's clothes, so not necessarily exciting things, to be fair. But like I say, week 3 has been a really good week, another really good week, and I am really pleased with that, and hopefully the final week of September will be just as positive, and we will end September, no spend September, really, really strong, and going into the colder months. I will admit to having my heating on 1 day this week, and I wouldn't normally put it on in September, but my youngest wasn't very well and the house did feel really cold, so I put it on for like 20 minutes, half an hour or so, just because he needed it on. So I'm hoping to not need to put it on again in September, because the longer I cannot do that, the better it is for my heating bills and everything else. So hopefully that'll be the case, but that's the plan. But yeah, so no spend September, still going really well. How are you getting on with yours? How was your last week? How's it been? Let me know how you're getting on and how many no spend days you've had so far. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it really helps the channel out. And I'll see you again very soon.